Hey, look at that. Okay. Yeah, good thing I checked that before going live. It seems that my audio was input and output were like being weird. But hey, welcome everybody to Victorian Vigilante episode 9 here on the Greater Restoration channel. Um, Glad everything, all the audio was sorted out quickly, and I noticed that and did not look like a fool for like 10 minutes like I did last time. Um, So, as always, I'm the Gert Freaky here, the gym, and yeah, it's been about 2 weeks since last we played. Uh, Taking a small break, life happens, there's a few things. Last week I was possibly supposed to do a quick, origami and chill and tea string, just to have a little buffer, but I got sick like a dog and was not up to it. But hey, here I am again. Um, So yeah, everybody, welcome in. We are almost about to wrap up this little lovely campaign. There's this session and one more coming up next week. So that's a bit bittersweet. I'm excited to see how things will go. Uh, Tonight, as you may notice, bottom right corner, our lovely James is not here tonight. He's feeling a bit ill. Second shot of his vaccine is kicking his butt. Hopefully, we're glad that he got vaccinated, because that is important. It helps, and if you can, and we encourage you all to do so. But yeah, in terms of announcement on my end, if you all do exclamation mark dice in the chat, you will, have a little message and we'll tell you about what we have with Die Hard Dice this month promo code, which did I? Yes, it is proper, the right one. Great June will get you 10% off your entire order. And also let Die Hard Dice know that, hey, we sent you their way. They're, your friend, some of the most friendly people, and they have great, amazing dice. This month, what we have, if you choose to add them to your order, is the Dark Undertow dice set. It is a lovely metal dice set. Honestly, I'm a big fan of rolling metal dice set. Although I do recommend that if you do so, please do it at a dice tray. Otherwise, somebody's table is going to be ruined. You don't want to, mess somebody's table for sure. Um, but they're amazing. They roll super well, and they brought Doom to my home game campaign as where I DM to my player. So I like them. My players not so much, but hey, it's all right. Um, Beside that, in terms of announcement, yes, we have this campaign wrapping up on the do believe the 24th. Let me. You know what? I have the schedule right here somewhere, and I can't for the life of me I actually remember that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's not what I want. Come on, image. Well, there you go. All right. So yeah, today we're June 3rd. Next week, June 10th is gonna be the campaign finale. June 17th. Um, it's gonna be slightly different. It's gonna be myself and my good friend Derek Ward from SRD&D, and is also a co-founder of this channel. We're gonna build a beast. Create a monster, creature, whatever abomination we can think of, um, for what I will believe it will be a D&D 5e. Derek isn't. Oh, absolutely. Knowing Derek and I, we are both absolute chaos. Um, yeah, it will be interesting. I do believe that Jen, aka Sketchy Goblin, aka the official artist of this channel, um, will also be joining us. Uh, I do believe, if all things are correct, they will attempt to more or less draw whatever abomination we're coming up with on the spot live. So that should be interesting. Um, yeah, so that's the upcoming programming. The week of the 23rd, the channel will go dark, and that is only because on July 1st, we will return with a brand new campaign, with a brand new setting, and slightly different cast. I will still be there. Uh, but as much as I love the people around that are currently playing in my campaign right now, for the next campaign it's gonna be a different group. But it's I can I'm pretty sure that it's not the last that we're gonna see of the lovely people that you can see right here on this channel. You're probably gonna see more of them in the near future at some point. In terms of announcement, that's pretty much it. One last thing, if I may, if you do in the chat, do exclamation pronouns. No, it's appropriate. This month is Pride Month as well. Your gender identity, all that jazz is absolutely important. Essentially, that is a Twitch little Twitch extension, absolutely not invasive. What you can do is essentially just connect there, put your preferred pronouns, and people with the extension in the browser will be able to see your preferred pronouns and address you like properly. Like for me, it's he, him, and for French Duck is they, them. And Fashion, I do believe you're he, him, and P1, I do believe you're she, her. There you go. It's important. Pronouns are important. And some people, have to fight for people to use the proper pronouns with them, and that's not cool. That's not fair, and that's just one way to show that you actually care for that kind of shit. It's important. And if you want to, also add the extension to your browser, more to you can actually see people's pronouns and address them correctly. You know what? I should, just use their gestures spiel, which is way better than mine on this, because this magnificent person is way better with words than I am. But that's probably why he has not a cult. But that's pretty much all the coming announcement and all I have to say on my end before we get started. I do believe that, Tuck, you do have something, because you've been off streaming for a little bit. So. I mean, oh, fuck me. Alright, there you go, Tuck. You can talk now. Sorry, apparently I forgot to unmute desktop audio like a genius here.
Amazing. I'll give my spiel again.
It was a practice round, okay? It was the first one was
practice round. Got the words out. Yes, I have taken the last 2 weeks off. I will be returning to streaming next week with some lighter duty stuff. Later this month will be the first of the charity milestones that my community redeemed because they raised a lot of money for charity, which is great, but also then I have to torture myself, and it'll be the return of tempered chocolate.
But, Tuck, wasn't that like such a joy last time?
It was a joy that I got it on the first try. It was not a joy dealing with the panic and build up to that, and also not a joy dealing with molten sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, melting chocolate seems easy. Tempering chocolate is a different beast. So, yeah, that is a lot of fun. So, yeah, make sure to check out the French Duck. If you don't already follow them, if you want, good vibe, good stuff, good food, and good people, drop them a follow. We love them absolutely here on the channel. And, we would not be having them on a show or shouting them out if it wasn't the case, and they were not an absolutely amazing person. So, yeah, I think that is pretty much all it is for now. So let's roll our quick little intro video, and we'll see you soon again in a moment.
We interrupt this program in order to bring you news about the ongoing situation in our eastern colonies and news on the conscription bill recently introduced into the House of Commons. And now back to our regular scheduled programming.
And we are back. Alright, let's see if after 2 weeks I can remember like how to play this goddamn game.
I think it involves D6s.
I think it like I think at some point we have to roll dice and things happen.
I've heard the rumor. Yeah.
I mean that's what I heard about the game. You know, we'll see how that goes. But last where we left off, our group of adventure investigator or motley crew, whatever you want to call them, I've been tracking the missing Doyle children. You know, during their investigation, asking a few people questions, doing some breaking and entry, which doesn't count because you know it's a building for criminals, so no, technically it's all right. Some mal arson, carriage ride, from improvised matter, roller skating, and other strange thing that happened. And out of that, the least weird thing that happened was probably ghostly possession. Yeah, because that happens sometimes. You know, just a casual Thursday. They were most recently brought back to the Dole residence as not only one, but two ransom notes were sent to them residents. First one with clear instruction to meet them at the square the morning after, the day after. Second one a bit later to meet them tonight. So, after a bit of time, consideration, thinking, going over their plan and trying to resolve a few things a bit faster than they originally anticipated, they sent James on his way to more or less scout the location a bit first. And that's where we are. Currently here in a dual residence, where Basil, Vifrine, and Alexandra, you are currently preparing a carriage for what may be one of the final confrontation with your foes that has been...
Or shenanigans.
Or shenanigans. You know, we never know how it's going to go. But all we need to know
It's
is
always
that
going to be.
It's always shenanigans.
Yeah. Is that your meeting place tonight is at Grosvenor Square, and would hope to bring the ransom, which is the the big ass jade statue, which requires a few people to move around because it is big and heavy. So,
Totally not packed with explosives.
totally not, and I mean, what could go wrong? There's definitely not an ancient spirit in that statue.
Did we pack full of explosives? I don't remember that being part of the plan. I thought we said no to blowing up the statue with the potential spirit that can bring doom to London.
No, I think we
I
didn't.
thought we didn't have time to put the
Yeah.
explosives in.
Yeah, Basil was still going to do it, but he didn't have time to get the right stuff for the remote detonation.
So, as you are arriving to the square in whatever manner you mentioned earlier, I do believe, Basil, you were there as a driver.
Yeah, I disguised myself to look like the Doyle's regular driver to minimize suspicion.
Yeah. Alexandra, I do believe that you jimmy rig your way to like hide under the carriage.
Yeah, I think we came up with like almost like
A little body harness type
Yeah.
a
thing.
harness type thing to keep me,
And
so I didn't have to like use my minimal strength to hold on.
I'm trying to. Is it friend? Were you doing the same with Alexandra, or were you like doing something completely different? I don't honestly. I cannot remember for the life of me.
I think I had a backup carriage that I was following in at a respectable distance, so that if need be, we had an extra carriage to chase with. If I remember correctly, I was also driving a carriage. I was driving my own separate thing.
Okay, because I had given someone else a set of
Yeah.
skates. Was it James or you?
James had the extra skates so that he
To
could
get
go
there
ahead to
faster.
the square.
Yeah.
Right,
James,
okay.
James is on the rooftop in the square.
Yeah. James on the roof.
Scoping it out, and in theory, being a sniper. In practice,
That's what his job is.
Yep. I mean, some people lie on their resume. Let's see how well he's gonna do. So, you are there in the center of the Aggressive Square, which is fashionable square right in the neighborhood, just outside of Hyde Park. So you're originally like a site where there's like an annual May fair of some reputation. It's about you're just there with there's a bit of light, there's a heavy fog rolling in. It's fairly difficult to see properly way too far, but this place being a place where fair will happen, easy enough to roll in with your carriage. You're there sitting, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, closer to an hour. You do hear on the horizon the sound of wheel and horse, just like pulling carriage. And right in front of you, Basil, you can see those two black horse and a carriage behind, with a driver with a bit of a hood and it's difficult to see just mostly because of the mass and lack of light. And they approach you, and he looks at you. You're from Doyle's?
Yes. I wasn't Mr. Doyle's coming with us. Out of character question here. I thought they
think so.
I think he was, because he was.
That was the instructions.
The ransom note required him to come.
Yeah, so I thought he was in the carriage that you guys
he's
were all
next to me or something.
Yeah, because the crate's probably taking the whole place behind.
As I hear the carriage approaching, I'm just gonna try and flatten myself against the top of against like the bottom of the thing as much as possible, and just like blend in as much as I can.
And you Basil, you can see the man. You've only seen him a bit from afar, and a bit up close, you're able to see a few traits of Harry Jones. Um, you had no actually, you did have some interaction with him a while back, so that's takes you a moment because it's not very well lit, and you're like for a moment you're like, can James actually have a proper vantage point because of all of that fog and we all know like light and fog interact. You can barely see
Yeah.
shit in there once it's lit up.
Yeah. We're relying on James to know his profession, and maybe he's not as far away as you normally would with a sniper. He would have theoretically done what his job training tells him to do.
Exactly. Alright.
But yes, this is if Mr. Doyle doesn't speak up, Basil will,
So
doing his best approximation of the driver's voice.
Mr. Doyle goes, yes, so we have the ransom. Do you have my children? Don't worry about your children, alright? They're gonna be at your home in time. Just you and your fella put the shit in the back, alright? And Mr. Doyle looks at you.
Character, are we strong enough to do this? You said it takes several people.
It took like two fairly strong men to bring it up. And Doyle look at you like, do you feel confident in your strength?
Particularly, but orders are orders.
Come on, hurry up! And on that, Mr. Doyle, gets down and goes in the back, and people, from the under carriage, you can actually, see, him walk around, open door, and go in. Are you gonna be able to get the end? I'm gonna try to push it, and you're gonna be good.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right. So what I will have you do? Do you have strength might?
I have. Nope, I just have strength, which is the one.
All right. Roll your strength dice.
This will be hilarious.
Yep.
No successes.
And you're both pushing at it, and you can see the man like being like fucking impatient. What kind of fucker is that? Told him.
Just a driver. Nobody told me I'd be carrying anything.
I told him. No, they're gonna be idiots, and they're not gonna have people to bring that shit on board. No, of course, I don't know anything.
Question. How far away is the other carriage?
I'd say about like 4 or 5 feet away.
So like they're like right next to each other?
Yeah, like the horse are probably like a few feet away from each other, like, and they're like in diagonal.
Based
I
on
feel like it would be easier if you brought the back of the cart.
And he looks at you. And
If you brought the back of your cart to the back of our cart, wouldn't that be? Wouldn't have to carry it so far.
fuck's sake. Bloody hell. Alright.
I could move my cart to the back of your cart if you don't want to move. I'm playing a completely doddering idiot here.
Alright.
It's heavy.
Just fucking do that, alright?
So I'll drive the cart slowly past theirs, hopefully giving Alexandra a chance to swap over and or align our cart back to back with theirs so we can transfer the crate and provide cover for the transfer.
My plan was if once the carts were like back to back, like right up touching next to each other, I'm basically kind of like And, like, spider climb along the underside
All right.
to like get to hook myself onto the underside of that carriage.
All right. So, Alexander, give me a hide and sneak,
Okay,
and
I got a couple.
Basil.
I'll be yammering the entire time,
Yeah.
just to be a distraction and noise.
I'm gonna do his perception.
Please roll badly. Okay. Okay. 5 successes.
Okay. Yeah. Without any issue, you managed to go right there, like apparently unnoticed entirely.
3 of those were on my new Die Hard dice.
Absolutely a sponsor. Um. All right. So, Basil and Mr. Doyle will also attempt again to push the crate again. If you want to roll your strength might. Okay.
Can I use try to use my cane or something as
Yeah.
leverage?
Yeah.
I don't know if they give me any benefit or not.
Just add an extra die.
Check. 1 success.
And yeah, also one success. So it takes some time. You know, you're obviously not either of you big, burly, strong men.
Far from it.
Far from it. You know, Mr. Doyle, you know, is upper class, scrawny Aldrin man. It took all that he could in order to more or less push it. But you know, eventually you're able to push and slide it and put in the other cart. All right, close the door.
Yeah, I will trigger the delayed paint trailer thing. Try to position the thing to make sure that it'll leave the trail that we want it to.
All right, so no funny business, and you're gonna see your
Funny?
chance.
We have to perform now? What? I'm not a driver car. I'm not kidding.
Fuck it's an old.
Funny?
All right, and he looks around. Assuming James is decent at, would James attempt?
He's in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if James would be the, because right now if you take a shot, I do believe that James would be clever enough to know that if he takes a shot, all you're gonna have right now is have a statue and somebody that may or may not talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we would probably have arranged a signal.
Yeah, I think it was mostly there in case shit goes down wrong.
Right. We would have arranged a signal where, I'd pretend do the stupid finger gun thing if I think someone,
Yeah.
some sort of signal would have let him know to shoot. Otherwise, things are.
Yeah.
We want to find their hideout. We don't necessarily want to lay them out now.
Yeah. So, no shot fired. And Harry Jones appeared to be on his merry way. So, you wish to attempt to follow the carriage?
Where are you going?
Zephrine should probably be not too far away with her cart. I would think we will send.
You're on mute.
You're mute. You're mute, Zephrine. Nobody heard what you said.
Yeah, no, I would have been reasonably close so I could keep an eye, but not be visibly in play. Just kind of one of those parked carriages that no one pays attention to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, so once that they started doing their movement around, I would have slowly started, getting prepared to see if I needed to follow, maybe pick up Basil or James on the way.
Right. So that's what I do is I'd send Mr. Doyle home and wait for Zephrine and hop on that as we're following, keeping pace if we can but definitely keeping an eye out for the paint trail
So,
and or any Alexandras that might be on the ground.
all right.
If anything, I probably would have like I could hold something in my hands in addition while I'm holding on to the thing, so I could if anything like if anything, I may drop one of Basil's bombs like as is without setting it off. Like
Oh,
without
to
holding
leave
it.
a
Hitting it.
trail. Well, we probably would have given you some. I mean, if we planning for you to be in the car, we might have given you some extra
Flashback.
paint or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
probably would have. Yeah, I'd probably have like paint or like rocks, like something that could stand out that I could like
Yeah.
drop along the way.
some breadcrumby thing type
Hansel and
as
Gretel.
a backup.
Okay.
So yeah. So we'll keep an eye out for what's prearranged with Alexandra as well as the paint trail in as backups for also following the cart.
Okay. Perfect. So, Mr. Doyle turns towards you. All right. So I'm gonna go home. Hopefully, we'll have respected the word and send at least my children home. All right. You're good to follow them and hopefully uncover. And perfect. All right. Thank you for your help. And hopefully, gonna see you soon. And if for as much as Mr. Doyle was an absolute dickhead, you can still see that he's not feeling well physically, but seems to be like genuinely concerned. So, who's leading the
Also, as I'm riding, I assume Zafreen is driving. I'm taking off the disguise.
Okay. Who's leading the tracking aspect of that cart?
Between myself, what's your perception?
It would
I assume it
be
would be a perception thing.
yeah, it would be width plus any tracking feature that you may have.
Okay, I've got perception and I've got skill and drive.
Yeah, I've got skill and drive, and I have my perception overall gets me 6 dice.
All right.
Okay,
My
6
drive
or
is
7.
I've got 1 in yeah.
All right.
I've got
I have
4
1
in
point
drive.
in drive, so
So it will still be a difficulty 3,
Mm-hmm.
perception, but please, those attempting to track, roll me a difficulty 3, and it's gonna be attempting to cover his track as much as possible. So I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, we know his love of going in long circles already.
Yep.
Does my dropping things help lower the number of black dice against them?
That's the reason why it's only a difficulty 3.
Okay, good to know. I
Because
just want to know
it
if
is
helping.
dark.
3 successes, 0 failures.
3 successes, 2 failures.
All right. So between the two of you, it takes you a bit of time, but eventually you manage to pick up on a few drops of paint, which quickly get lost into the mud of the streets. However, with said mud, there's also tracks that you're able to pick up. Obviously, there's a few here and there that crisscross, go around, but you're able to pick up some of the fresher one, follow them. Takes you a while. It seems to be taking you on a wild ride, and Alexandra, underneath that, you're having one heck of a time. All the bumps and that. Thankfully, you're actually no, you don't have any harness. You don't.
No, her harness was on her, not on
Yeah.
the cart.
And
She
that
could have hooked herself.
hooked onto the
Yeah.
carriage. There's that in the
Yeah. All right.
Please don't skip.
still give me like strength, just because you still have to hold on. Your harness will only hold you on so much, but if you go flap around, just give me like just your strength.
Okay, this
might.
is one die.
Or I need.
It's a success.
There you go.
Yay!
So it was fairly demanding, to say the least. But you are able to hold on to the carriage.
I will be very sore in the morning and will not want to work and do anything resembling a workout for weeks.
It will be. It is. It is absolutely not a pleasant ride by any means. But yeah, it takes. Air Jones take you a bit around town, and eventually, some more familiar, not so pleasant smell of the tame come to your nose, because let's face it, in Victorian time, the tame did not smell so good. No, I mean a lot of things did not smell too good, but what can we say? And eventually you do come to a stop, and you hear in your door being open, and a carriage being pulled within the building. From where you are, you do hear the familiar voice of Miss Harrington. So, how did it go, mate? Well, the door did not give you too much trouble. Well, I mean, this little fox could not, push that thing, so I, do a few things around, but to the back. Did you check it? Was I supposed to? Of course you were supposed to, you goddamn knothead. Alright, Tom. Bob, bring that out. We're gonna look at it. And you do see, a few pair of legs, around you. From while you're, just hanging around. And that you see them, bring out the, the big crate. And, it's heavy, What, Big Tom, it's not too bad because he's a fairly strong fella. But yeah, you understand, why you heard some, grunts and pains from Basil and Mr. Doyle, while they were trying to push that. Some unpleasant men noise as they were, using all their might. But yeah, eventually the statue's open. You hear some the wood crack as they open the crate. What the fuck is this shit? And they,
Only I didn't have time to that truck. Oh, I wanted to rig the thing to blow as soon as they opened it. Oh well.
I haven't had time to do that, and I don't want to
we didn't.
demon spirit onto London.
But I do believe that
It would have been fun.
Your paint bucket was inside, right?
Yeah, it was inside under the packing.
Yeah.
Problems and stuff. There's nowhere else you could have hidden it. So.
All right.
Also, the urn.
Oh
no! I thought you shipped the urn.
No, I was planning on it, and then we were like, wait, if we put the urn in there, then then the ghost will harass me until I get the urn back, and so that was a secondary tracking option.
That was our
secondary. So the urn is in there too. It's a bonus artifact.
Okay, I forgot about that.
And what the fuck is this shit? Some kind of.
Oh, please tells me he shatters it and he gets haunted by an angry ghost.
Oh no!
Some kind of fucking chamber pot. It opens it. It's just fucking ash in it. Just, I don't know, go fucking drop that in tame. I don't care. I mean, I'm pretty sure the pot itself is worth a lot, so we could probably sell that. Bonus for us, right?
Oh, that's a horrible thing to do.
It is a horrible thing to do, but he does not know.
They aren't nice people.
No.
They don't seem to notice me. I shouldn't have asked that.
I mean, you're on the underside. Why would they look at the underside of the carriage?
Nobody ever looks down.
Yeah.
In nature.
Give the GM ideas.
So, were you followed? Nah, nobody behind me. Look around, you know, and look car. All right, boys. Oh. In the morning, we gotta just get ship sent and probably get a good penny out of it. Getting that out of her hair, and we should be good, right? Should have got myself tangled in that shit, but hey, it's gonna happen. So, Zephyr and Basil. Takes you a little bit. I'm assuming you're not following too up close.
Yeah, we didn't want to draw suspicion.
Yeah, and it tracks, by catching him up.
We had our tracks, we had our breadcrumbs, we had our paint.
Between
the three things.
You eventually do get to an alternate warehouse, not the original one that you went at, because Mr. Arrington has, a few places business, which is, clever move, because you don't want to, especially if you're gonna do, like, Colonel shit, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. But you are able to, probably a bit of far, pull around and see the warehouse from where you stand. What do you wish to do?
Going to blow it up.
That's valid.
Zephyr strongly objects to blowing up the the warehouse with A. Alexandra and B. malevolent spirits inside.
I didn't mean right
And
now.
dangerous spirits.
I didn't mean necessarily right now. Just, it's on the list.
So yeah, assuming Zephyr's the one who wound up doing the actual driving, I'm gonna pull the carriage up a little bit past so that we're not directly in front of the warehouse and park it and then come back and work our way back and see if we can't figure out a way inside.
Yeah, and
possibly that hardcore lockpicking skill that I actually, like, the most useful skill I've had so far.
Yeah, and from where you're able to, like, from an external perspective, because, Alexandra was a bit too much underneath to actually observe the surrounding. To secondary warehouse, it's actually a bit closer to the river, and actually right next to it, which you could probably assume that you've probably seen many like that, where somebody can actually have a boat directly go inside a warehouse. Usually smaller vessel, and that seems to be the case for this one. So just and in front of it, you do see, like, the main bigger door that they can move shit in and out, like the carriage. And there is most likely secondary doors on the side as well.
Is it as far as population? How busy is this street that it's on?
It's at this late hour. It's not overly busy. You may see like a few like people still working the dock's late shift, but overall, like, almost nobody around.
Okay.
And for those that are there, they're not really paying attention to you per se.
So I'm thinking try to go in through one of the through a side door, or alternately try to go in through the river side if we thought we had some way to gain entrance from that side.
Yes, I suggest the river as a secondary, because this doesn't float very well. But also, we have found the location, and I acknowledge our associate Alexandra is in there. Is our goal simply to get them out and then bring in authorities? Our hired purpose was to get the children back. Theoretically, that's happened.
Yeah, I think the main thing I'm concerned with is making sure we can get Alexandra out and also retrieve the urn, because I kind of promised that lady that I'd get her back to her family. Uh, and then, yeah, we can drop a note to the authorities or whatever that this is
Which I
going
had
down or
done
whatever.
earlier in the evening. I let the authorities. I passed on previous, like Zafreen and Alexander probably don't know, but I had passed on to my associates pretty much everything we knew, including the Harrington name and stuff. So possible that hopeful that they'll be closing in on all of his known properties. But yes, let's go get your pot in um, Alexandra, and well, chaos will inevitably ensue. But I suppose our best plan is to get out, attempt to waylay them if possible, and get out and bring authorities in.
Yeah, that seems like the best plan.
How about we have James go and watch the see if
Big
there is a
entrance?
way in via the river, and or watch or set them up on a watch. I don't know. I just out of character me is imagining that last minute scene where they bust through the place in a speedboat, and get away. So I want someone covering the
That's
river.
true.
All right.
Um,
And eventually, James, catch
Yeah,
up to
that's
all
fair.
of you, and yeah, you can be like set up like
oh, I thought he was in our cart with.
yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that if James, I'd have grabbed James when I grabbed Basil, just so we were all traveling together in the carriage.
Yeah, and there's definitely
So we could-
nearby some like little crane apparatus that you could technically climb on that are not being used right
Yeah.
now. That it would give him some kind of vantage point if needed. Obviously,
Yeah.
he would not be able to assist if anything happened within the warehouse, but if there's a concern that things may go
Given
awry,
his skill set, I want him to keep them from running away.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, we'll send James to
All right.
set up a vantage point to observe for them trying to escape by river before we can
Unless, of course, he sees
our
something
stuff.
else that would, justify his taking another position or
Yeah.
taking action.
Yeah.
Obviously, use his soldier's instincts and training.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've seen shit, you would know, what to do.
So let's go find ourselves an alternate entrance. Since nobody ever seems to want me to make one.
You can make an alternate exit.
Promises. Let's go.
End of the campaign, Basil would just like toss a bomb at something just to blow it up because
The campaign says Black Watch 3, 2, 1, and all the warehouses blocked.
Even his.
Alright. So, easy enough.
He only said it was his.
Yeah. Looking around, you are, just, sitting around looking looking for an alternate entrance, which you can find, no problem, right on the side. Small door, which is locked. Alexandra, you are currently, just hanging out. Anything you wish to do as you're hanging out, or do you just hope not to be discovered?
So, question.
Answer.
From my vantage point of underneath a wagon,
Yeah, which is not much of a vantage when you don't see legs. Yes.
can I at least hear a? So I heard them say they're gonna put this on the boat and they're gonna get this out of here.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he wish he hadn't gotten involved in this stuff.
Yeah.
did I hear what direction they walked off toward? And did they walk off with the statue, or is the statue still near me?
And the statue seems to have been transported just a bit further.
Okay.
Like if you were like laying down, like this is your head, this is your feet,
Mm-hmm.
and like this is probably the front of the cart as well.
Yeah.
They walk off like further that way.
Okay.
And you can see around you, like, give me a quick look. There's like other crates and objects.
Can I very... Oh,
You do you.
I have moves I
You
want
are
to do.
currently not in the best position
Let's
either.
do it.
No, I'm not!
If shit goes down, you're like there, and that's it.
And my health is not high. This was a choice. This is a choice sticking me under a wagon.
I did not come up with a plan. You all did.
I'm aware. I'm aware. Listen. Us as players are not as intelligent as we believe we should
No.
believe we are.
We are. That's not true. We have been playing our characters as our characters. Our characters are not the people you want on this kind of situation.
True. Very,
We
very
are-
true.
We are doing the best that people with our capabilities can do.
It's not because
Go do your
dwarves that you have
thing.
to sell yourself short.
Can I very, very, very quietly let go of the wagon and just kind of get on the ground underneath so I can like have a little bit of ability to move and look around and see what is around me?
All right. Give me a hide and sneak, and I'm just gonna roll a general perception for the people that are currently more or less nearby. And because there's multiple people, well,
I'm gonna roll one metal dice. My first time rolling a metal dice.
What?
Great, metal dice failed me. Okay,
okay.
4 successes.
Okay. I'm rolling for all the people that are currently present in this room. So.
I don't know.
Is Alexander doing this? Were you waiting for all the legs and around you to disappear, or were you just doing this
No,
right
I
now?
would have waited for them to get like farther away
Yeah.
and like you're quiet in the warehouse.
I mean, you can still see like a pair of legs nearby.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
I would not have done this if I'd seen a pair
Okay.
of legs nearby.
Let's retcon this in this case. There's still a pair of legs nearby.
Okay. Do they look like by the style of the trousers? Because my expertise is clothing. I'm very good at understanding clothing. Can I guess which person is standing nearby?
By the amount of legs, you can tell it's not Mr. Harrington for sure. Or by the size of the legs, you can also tell it's not Mr. Harry Jones, because they're a bit larger.
So it's Tom.
Most likely.
And Tom would be able to beat me into a pulp.
Oh! Tom could, like, yeet you out of the building by the bottom of your pants and just...
I just skip across the Thames. I just skip across and end up in Hackney.
I mean, you have encountered, like, a joyful victim of Mr. Tom previously when you first met him. Because there were people that were beaten to a pulp out of the bar.
That's right, I do remember that.
I remember this now. I don't have any of my notes with me because I did not bring them in my pack, but I do remember this. Okay, cool.
And those were not small people, so...
No, they were not. And I am... Okay. Listen. Can I just kind of make a perception check and just see if I hear anything of interest any other bits of the conversation, anything,
Yeah.
even like if like they're turning pages of like a logbook.
Yeah. Roll me perception.
I do have good. In theory, I'm okay at that. Who knows? My dice may betray me. They usually like to do that. All the units. Okay, first. Metal die doesn't want to roll nicely. That is cocked because that's. Why is it on perception checks where I have 9 dice? 2 successes. Oh no,
They get
3
in each
successes.
other's way.
3 successes.
Okay.
It's
If
the
they're
law of
anything like
ninjas.
mine, when you roll a lot of them, they just get in each other's way.
Yeah, I may have to start doing that. Those small handfuls.
So you take a moment to hang in there and listen. First thing that you hear is obviously sound of water nearby. Then the occasional like thump, 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 and you just take a look around, and you do see like what does appear to probably be Tom just like messing around and hitting the back of a crate with the back end of a hand axe, just like he's having fun. He's just hanging there, just tapping the side of a crate with it. With that somewhat limited success, you do hear what appear to be whimpering.
Does it sound in the pitch range of children?
It takes you a moment, but you do hear whimpering, and it's it's not nearby, but
Does it sound in the pitch range of like what kids would be at?
most likely yes, I would say so.
Okay. Have they unhitched the wagon?
It is currently on itch, yes.
And it's
And
kind
the
of,
horse
is
has
it like
been taken away.
it's standing in free space?
Yeah.
Is this place lit electrically or gas?
Yeah, that's a
Or
question.
how's the lighting situation?
Yeah, what is
From your perspective underneath the carriage, it would be difficult. You don't see any wiring per se, but it is.
I'm not under the wire.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
is.
asking.
It is fairly decently lit. You would assume it is most likely electric.
okay.
The technology has been rolled out to many of the warehouse,
Is the
just because
sound
it
of the
avoids
wind-
fire hazard.
There's been no sound like they're moving toward the children.
Not in the moment, no. There's like a little bit of chatter, but it's super low and hard to understand that you would not be able to pick up.
Is it in the direction of Harrington and Henry Jones, or a
Yeah.
different direction?
You figure it's probably them just chit-chatting and about what they're gonna do next.
I know we are not playing D&D, so held actions aren't really a thing.
I mean, it is not a thing, but it is intent that you can do on whatever initiative. That's what you would do. Yeah.
I'm going to grab both the stink bomb and the smoke bomb that
Okay.
I have from Basil.
Okay.
If it sounds like they're gonna hurt the kids, or I hear my fellow investigators making noise like they're trying to make a distraction, I'll drop them.
All right. Perfect. As you holding those actions, Basil and Zephrine, you are near a locked door. It is poorly lit, which give you a little bit of coverage. So there's not many suspecting why. The only downside of that door is like on the opposite side of where James would be, but this is fine for now.
Alright, well, so pick lock. Are the hinges on the inside or the outside?
There are on the outside for a safety reason.
Okay, so we could probably oil up the hinges as I pick the lock. James can use his pocket oil and
actually they would be
oil
on
up the hinges.
Actually, they will be on the inside. Sorry, my apologies. Like any door, because like your external door, the hinges on inside, right, of the building.
Emergency exit would be going to the outside.
Yeah.
You
It
swing
needs to be
out.
outside if you
Yeah,
swing out.
it would swing out. So yeah, never mind. I'm thinking wrong. So yeah, continue.
Okay. So I'll pick the lock.
While she is doing that, and I assume she's gonna roll for it, I'm gonna take a look around just again with my given eye for destruction, because that's what I've got to do while I'm waiting.
Basil, give me perception. Safrine, roll me lockpicking. Make it a difficulty 3.
Perception.
Hooray! 3 successes, 0 failures.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, that's the best I've rolled on perception. 4 successes.
All right. You take a look around. I mean,
particularly, I'm looking for either weak spots or the one thing going off my other question. Can I see where the electricity comes into the place? Like where the wires come in?
yeah, you are able, like, if you like, you probably noticed, like, while going around, there's like poles and that essentially connect like multiple buildings. But yeah, there is pole that it's like an iron in the building. It's not like super low, so you want to be able to just reach, unless you have some kind of.
But I'm really good at throwing things.
That's true.
It's just a thought of if we wanted to suddenly darken the place. Does it look like I could take something and throw it up there and short it out, or break it?
Victorian time.
Like find an iron bar or something.
Yeah, I mean, Victorian time. Like power grid. Is as
Yes.
good as it is probably better than Texas power grid, but it's not extremely reliable either.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
yeah,
I will throw shade however I
posts.
want. We all know it's fucking true.
So I think I probably short it out if we needed to.
Okay.
All right. I will. Zafreen will probably hear me muttering those thoughts. Probably not used to working with people.
Yeah. Yeah, you would probably, yeah. But yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
It takes a moment, but you're able to gingerly pick the lock, and the door is now unlocked.
Okay. So I'll be like, I got it.
Excellent.
Do we want to go into a darkened warehouse as a cover of go in, get the shit, or do we want to...
I think until we can secure Alexandra and your pot, I don't think we want chaos just yet.
Okay, so...
But what I will do,
get in.
taking a lesson from last time we were in a warehouse, I'm going to take some bits of wire or something from my pocket and jam this lock so that it cannot be locked.
Smart.
Okay, sounds good.
So that way we have a likely escape if we need it. That even if they send their guys to check and double, go lock all the doors, fine, but the little pin won't actually engage.
Yep.
All
right.
So once we've got that rigged up, we open open the door, and what do we see upon opening this side door?
So, upon just gingerly opening the side door, because I'm assuming you're not just like wide opening it in case, you know.
Wham! Yeah, no.
Alright, we're here.
So what you're able to see,
Kool-Aid Man it.
you're able to like see like to your right. You are able to see where like there would be like the exit to the train. To the left, you would see like the main entrance from which they came in. You do see like multiple cranes, some open, some closed, some empty. A bunch of junk laying around. You are able to just barely, see the top of the cart as well. And you're, if you give me a quick perception. You are able, just because he's a big, burly, large man, occasionally just like see around like Tom, but you're not able to spot where Eric Jones and Mr. Errington are currently.
Do we hear anything? The whimpering or any of that?
Yeah, from where you are, you're not really able to hear
Okay.
much. You would actually need to probably step inside because there's still also you're outside. There's still like external noise.
Yeah, gotcha.
Do I hear the door opening?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, we tried to make the door opening quiet so that we wouldn't be noticed by those people
if you
inside.
would, chances are that foes would also hear it.
Yeah.
So I would say no, just to give you an edge.
Okay.
But we see the where the wagon is.
Yeah.
So I guess we try to make our way towards the wagon. Is considering our goal that we know to do is retrieve Alexandra and, if possible, the urn.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. If you wish to make your way in the warehouse towards the wagon, you can roll me hide and sneak. Are you staying close to each other, or like giving some distance, just so I can have a visual image of like how you're approaching the scene?
Should we be separate to make ourselves harder targets? Or do you want to stay together?
I think making ourselves harder targets is a better plan since we know at least Tom is in here. Giving multiple targets to go after is probably for the best.
Okay. So yeah, we'll be a bit spaced.
All right.
Hide and sneak.
All right. I'm just gonna roll their
nice.
perception. So that is Tom's. That is Harry Jones.
Should I roll as well to see if I hear them coming?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's Harry Jones.
Please. Oh no, I got
for
dice.
Harrington.
Why am I so good at conceal but not hide and sneak?
Okay.
Because you're good at hiding stuff on your person, but not at, sneaking around. I'm the opposite. I'm good at hide and sneak, but I'm not actually good at conceal.
You don't have much space on your body anyway to hide stuff.
Yeah, I just have all the voluminous bloomers that I have.
All right. So I got everybody's individual success and failure here. So 4 success. Okay. Is 0 success?
Yep.
All right.
So I can have spent those two.
And you were, correct me if I'm wrong, you were staying up close?
No, we had spread out.
Okay.
So hopefully I'm only screwing myself.
Like it was you go this way, you go left around the crate, I'll go right around the crate kind of thing.
All right.
So I hear both of them.
Yeah, you do hear like faint little lakes that were not necessarily those of Harrington and company, just based on their direction. And you've heard Basil stumble around a little bit before. Thankfully, like, his stumbling is not critical because there was no failure. But he's also not the most discreet person.
This is true.
You are, however, not the only one that noticed, something going on. You can hear the voice of Harrington, like, go check what's fuck is going on over there. Probably some rats, but never know. Getting a bit nervous here. And you do see the footstep of Harry Jones going their way. Are you doing anything?
Based on so question, can I tell which direction Basil and Zephrine are in?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, roughly where they are, and you can tell, that.
Okay. I can tell roughly where they are. I can tell roughly where Harrington and Harry Jones are. Is there a third? Is there another direction? So,
like your head is facing the arbor side.
Okay, I'm gonna do these coordinates. I know these are not actually the actual coordinates that people are at. So if they are, if Harry Jones and company are north,
okay,
and my party is south, is there space to my east?
Yeah.
And is that where Tom is?
Yeah, Tom is
Tom with his thumping hand axe and.
Yeah, Tom is nearby. Right.
Oh, this is a horrible
So,
just do it.
Let me I can't say. You know what?
I'm just trying to visualize it because I'm trying to think about where I'm throwing this smoke bomb. If I'm going to be very, very deliberate about where I'm throwing it, because I don't want to throw it towards my friends. I don't want to throw it towards the children.
Okay. So.
But I need to make it realistic that it's going to come from another place.
It's like coming in there. Okay. North is the arbor side.
Okay.
South is the main door side.
Okay.
East is Tom. West is where you hear southwest mostly is where you hear your friend.
Okay.
Because they came in. To their right was the arbor, and to their left was the door, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
And where are the kids that she hears?
It was a bit more north.
Okay. So west is where you're throwing stuff. Throwing it.
Okay. This is a horrible plan, but I committed to it, and
it's all that works for us.
Okay. I'm going to.
I mean, our party name might as well be Horrible Plan.
I'm going to time my I'm going to time my drop down.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming I need to actually get on the ground, in order to roll this along.
Yeah, because you can get out and get on the other side of the cart.
You can still do a throw. However you are. It may be a bit more.
No, but I'm currently hanging onto the underside of the wagon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need to drop down and then throw.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to time my drop down to when Tom hits the crate.
Okay.
And then I'm going to throw it in that third direction, which I believe would be west.
West is where your southwest is where your party is coming in. Yeah.
Okay, no, west is not where my party is coming from the opposite side.
Okay, towards where Tom is.
No.
Do you want to do southeast then? Which because Tom is a bit north.
From southeast.
Yes, party is southwest. Tom is at northeast.
Oh, that's not how I heard it last time. Okay.
Yeah, it's like east northeast. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'm basically gonna if here's my party, I'm gonna throw directly opposite.
That's gonna be right into. That's gonna be right to him. The way he's got it.
I mean, you could just go completely south, and it's gonna be
just throw it south.
I'm gonna throw it south
southeast.
where the main
Yeah.
door is.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, there's crates behind, and you know it's not
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna-
directly impacting.
So I drop when Tom
Okay.
hits the crate again,
Okay.
and then I like fucking bowling ball this smoke bomb south.
Okay. So, as you're dropping down, just Tom, you drop down. You hear.
Yep.
Also hear at the same time. What the fuck are you doing here? And we're just gonna do a quick initiative to see in what order things happen.
I
Because-
couldn't have done that sneakily. Can I roll?
Yeah,
hidden
roll
sneak?
me at your stealth first,
See if I can get it. To see if I can get
just to see if you're
It-
not noticed by Tom.
Oh, please.
And then we're
Please,
gonna do a
universe.
quick initiative. So, no, we're not gonna roll a billion fucking dice. So what are we gonna do? Just roll a d6, add your current initiative number.
One success. And I imagine
Current
Tom.
initiative number.
Yeah. Initiative, I do believe.
It's one of the derived attributes.
Yeah, it is a derived attribute. It is, I do believe, your dexterity and your wits.
Oh yeah.
Rolling our dice, adding our initiative.
Yeah, just roll a d6, adding your initiative.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll for the people that are currently involved on the foe side.
Ooh, well, this would be great if we were doing successes and failures right now, but it's not doing that, so therefore not going to be as good.
Okay.
The one time this is the one game where I like rolling ones, and of course this is the one time you don't want to roll a one.
Okay. Harry Jones, Big Tom, and this is Mr. Arrington. Okay. Okay, perfect. So, what's your initiative, Basil?
15.
15. Okay. So you're a bit faster than Arrington. I should have. I'm just gonna bring a notepad because otherwise I'm gonna get lost. And because please everybody in chat bear with us. We have not yet done combat in this game, and it is a fairly complex combat system. So it would be as a friend. What's your initiative?
13.
Okay, so you're after Harry Jones.
As best I can manage. Still not as good as Basil.
Okay.
My base initiative is a 12.
Alexandra, what's your initiative? A big 9?
A 9.
Okay. So
Big fat 9. Because one king.
so Alexandra, Alex, and
I'm gonna die.
so you're
Especially since I can't find my second page of my character sheet, which had all my weapons written down.
So, all right. So Basil, you have your action that you can take, or like if you want to go defensive, because you are spotted by Harry Jones, who is currently pulling out a pistol.
Well, that's rude. Okay.
And you can see like if time slow down, you can see like him like bringing it up towards you, about to fire.
Well. Yeah, I can stop. So yeah, this is not going to be a talk my way out of it situation. I can feel, yes.
I mean, you
Is-
can try anything, and it's much harder for you to negotiate. You know, once you got shot.
All right. Well then. Oh, I have my throwing knives. Do I hit him with just a throwing knife, or do I go and just incinerate him?
You do you, friend.
Wait, who is this? Harry Jones?
Yeah.
Yep, this is Sarah Jones.
Mm, you know what? Yeah, this is a you do you. I don't really have strong opinions on the incineration versus mere maiming of Harry Jones.
I would probably have a lot more knives than. So, GM,
Yes.
in the purposes of this, are called shots a thing? Could I like try and hit him in the hand, or am I?
Yeah,
Or am I
absolutely.
just?
Call shot are absolutely a thing. It will impact the difficulty of what you want to do.
Mhm.
But call shot are absolutely a thing, and there's actually a rule in the book for that. If you're like going for like an arm and leg, it's like difficulty 3, and or foot it's 6, eye or ear it's like 12. No, the more precise you want to go, the harder it is, and that's also depending on your distance. But you're about like maybe like 4 yards from him.
Okay, not
So
bad
you're
at
not
all.
yeah, you're not very far, so it's not adding any range issue.
Basically, I'm just kind of wanting to hit him, like maybe in the shoulder or something that'll fuck up his ability to use the gun.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to kill him yet. Would like
Yeah.
a disabling thing, or what kind of difficulty would that do for me?
You're trying
Like I'm
to
not trying
hit
to,
his
I'm
arm.
not trying to do the hit him out of the hand thing. I
Yeah,
just want to like,
it
if I
would,
get him like in his shoulder or something, just enough to make him not be able to really use the arm too well.
it would be a difficulty. If you're like the arm itself, it would be a difficulty 3. Because you're still in close range, depending on your own proficiency at throwing
I am
knives.
I'm very proficient in throwing items.
Okay.
Or what is around me? Is there anything loose, like a crate top or
Uh,
anything like that?
you're able to like to find like maybe like like loose like a pipe which is fairly heavy. Maybe like a crate top but it's on the floor like maybe like 2 yards behind you.
Yeah. Okay.
And you are able to also like get some cover, depending if
Yeah.
what you want to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with what I built him to be good at, and it's gonna be a throwing knife.
All right.
And I'm just going to go for. I'll try the difficulty because I got 6 dice in my for my throwing skill, so
All right.
it's 6-3.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. 4 successes, 2 failures.
All right. Roll damage of your knife. I think
Alright. Where do
for the damage of a knife. Damage. Wound penalties.
There.
Because each weapon has their own specific damage. Again, thank you everybody, and we appreciate your
Go.
patience.
Okay. Damage knife. Damage dice.
It's probably just one like
Oh.
1d6 or something like that.
Throne. I found it. It's on page 155.
Okay.
Throne knife is 4 damage dice.
Okay, so roll your 4 damage dice.
Okay. And add them up.
Yep.
7.
7. All right. No, you're able to like. I'm assuming you're aiming for his weapon arm.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
I'm wanting to
And
disable him if possible.
you hit him. It's gonna make his shot a bit more difficult. Are you doing anything else? Because you use your
gonna-
action to are you trying to move away or?
Yeah, I'm going to throw and immediately duck around
All right.
some crates. If there is the chance to grab that loose crate top as
Alright.
like a cover shield thing, fine. But or just duck around for cover.
Okay, perfect. So as you're, coming around, swinging a knife at you, at him, he's gonna fire back at you. It's gonna make his life a bit more difficult because. Okay. Shooting him like that did help. It did, however, have some only like some success. So it's just like shooting you. It's gonna probably just graze you a little bit. So you
Oh.
will take some wounds.
I don't like that.
No, eh? Why?
Just clarifying.
Yes.
Have I thrown the smoke bomb
Yeah,
yet,
it's
or
being
is it?
it's essentially like time freeze more or less at the same time.
Mhm.
It's happening all at once. Damage die.
Basically, you heard us at the same time they did,
Yeah.
or heard me.
2, 3, 4.
Okay, I have figured out what I'm going to do on my turn, so hopefully it won't.
You take 8 wounds. Basil as
8 wounds.
Yeah.
Oh no.
As a shot.
That's a lot of wounds.
Yeah. Well, added to 8 here because it's 6 die. So shot, and that's all it's going to be able to do. The shot like it.
How do I?
So how many
dead?
L like on your L bar? How many dice do you have there?
My health thing, my derived attributes for health is 3.
Okay, so
We never got into the how many dice I've got.
that is
Yeah.
technically
I think I'm
So at
dead.
the bottom,
yeah. It would health I think is your fortitude and
I think it's like the quintessence where every
yeah
pip is a wound.
a wound, yeah. So
And
it would
that's
be
how
18.
many before you start taking the negatives.
Yeah.
So
So you're
if you-
taking penalties now, effectively.
Yeah. Well, you have 3 dice, so that's 18. So, I mean, you're still standing in fighting shape.
Wait, so is it basically like it's your number of dice times 6?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Because each.
That makes me feel much better.
Oh yeah, no.
That
Because
helps.
I mean, weapon do a fuck ton of damage. I mean, a knife did what 8 earlier, or 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, had I known that, I would have gone and got a fireball. But okay, good to know. Good
Yeah.
to know.
I mean, you've hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, he's gonna have a worse day now.
Oh yeah, and that knife isn't there. It's gonna make him bleed, which is gonna hurt him, and then put some, issue on
But
him.
he's also going to have a worse day.
Oh yeah. And obviously, that shot is fired. Everybody hear that, which makes Mr. Harrington come out and with his weapon, looking for what is going on. He's gonna look around quickly. He's gonna use his action to perceive. He's not able to see you, Basil. So that's good. But you can, see him like, looking around. After that is Zephrine. And then there's Tom and Alexandra because you rolled garbage on your initiative.
Yeah, rub it in.
It's alright, you had to all untangle your thing, it makes sense. Did we lose Zephrine? Because she is frozen on my end.
Zephrine appears to be frozen here too.
Yeah, and there's no audio coming from her. Alright.
That's how stealthy she is.
Yeah,
I can't find her.
she's so stealthy that, it's silent like a ghost in technique. Oh,
Alright. I think it's back.
yep, it is
Oh.
back.
I
Okay.
don't know what happened there. Suddenly, everything froze for me, and then
What would this game be without a little bit of chaos?
So the frame.
I back to myself at a delay.
Yeah. So you heard a shot fired. How? Because that knife to shoulder hurt like a motherfucker. And you see Arrington, footstep, coming that way. What do you do? Alexander, you can also, you're already going to be eating some bombs and things, so.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like I've been found yet. So I'm gonna keep heading towards Alexandra, but I am gonna pull my and
You're cutting so much in and out that I wasn't able to understand what you said.
out my pistol.
Okay.
I have a Colt revolver, the pocket pistol, whichever one that one is. I kept looking up again.
Okay. There's a variety of pistol here.
All right, I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect.
All right. We're just gonna go on a quick BRB screen for a moment while we're trying to resolve the friends issue. We'll be right back in a hot minute. And we
My
are back.
computer hates me so.
Yeah. Technology sometime, that's the joy of, playing over the internet. You have to obey whatever your connection, computer, and all that jazz because such is life. All right, so you were pulling out a pistol. Do you know what kind of pistol you have?
Yes. It was a Colt 1849 pocket pistol.
Okay, so decent weapon. Okay, same as Mr.
Yeah.
Harry Jones.
Like, knowing what I have on me, I was like, all right, this is probably my best shot. Is if it looks like someone's going to come at me, I have my pistol at the ready.
Yeah.
But I don't plan on using it. I plan on, unless I have to, I'm gonna try to get to Alexandra and back her up
Oh, okay. Perfect.
first and foremost, because Basil has probably got things handled, considering he can just blow the guy up if he needs to. He's got permission to blow something up.
Yeah, what's the percentage chance of when I get shot that they hit something that blows everything up?
You never know.
That is an excellent question.
I don't know. Do you have like explosives near your side and?
Center mass.
My definition is I have deep pockets, and I've established that I carry around that satchel. I've got random shit everywhere, and I'm a demolitionist.
Do you want to roll me 4d6 and see if it's gonna hit one of your bombs, which is gonna go real bad for everybody?
Yeah,
involved?
no, I don't want to, but if you want me to, as the DM, fine with it. because that's the character I built. But
because I would absolutely
You built your character with explosive decapitation.
just blow up, because that would then chain reaction blow up everything else I've got.
Because it would be a shame if everybody died here.
It would be the end of the campaign, but it would be quite the way to go out, killing
be a
us
surprise.
and the bad
James
guys and
is
the
still
Doyle
outside
children.
of the warehouse. He would still be
We'd
able to
kill
occur
us
his own
and the
solo
Doyle
adventure.
Yeah.
We don't
Maybe.
know that we killed the Doyle children.
If we
We
blow
do
up
know
the
that
warehouse,
if
we
we
will.
We don't know that that's the Doyle
All right.
children. We know that it's probably the Doyle children.
Because
we do know,
combat is going
however,
to take
if we
some
blow this
time.
thing,
Let's
it will
refocus.
release the dragon.
So, Zephrine, you're going there.
Yes, I'm going to continue moving towards the carriage and therefore Alexandra.
And okay, perfect. You do hear, Alexandra, you do see Tom like bolting towards that way as well.
Shots fired.
Because all the noise is coming out from that direction.
Okay.
That is his turn. He's moving a few yards that way.
Can I slightly change my plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because I hear the shots fired, and that tells me that Basil has been spotted, a la Marine Layer, I'm going to throw it towards where Basil is, so that way Basil has cover.
Okay, perfect. It is fairly difficult, unless I'm assuming you're stepping out from underneath the carriage in order to be able to do that properly. Because if you do that from within underneath the carriage, you do not have angle towards beyond those crates in the carriage, right?
Right. Then so I drop I dropped stealthily enough, I'm assuming that I can. So I'll stealth to whatever side of the carriage I need to be on to throw it.
Okay. No, I mean you technically can throw it from any side of the carriage. Do you want to go out of the carriage in front of you and throw it beyond it towards where he is, or go closer to the crates so it will be a shorter distance, but you will also probably be in the path of other incoming people because they're going that way, right? So if you want to go in front of the carriage, they may not see you.
I'll go in front of the carriage, even though my throw is not that good.
Okay, perfect. So
That's
you step out,
and then it just lands on top of the carriage.
So
any smoke would be helpful in this situation.
Yeah. Just do me a difficulty 3 throw.
Oh Lord, difficulty 3. Okay. One dice. You don't like roll. You hate rolling those numbers.
It would not normally be very difficult, but because it is spur of intense action moment. What did you roll?
So apparently I need to order more dice from Die Hard Dice. I rolled 1 success and then 2 failures.
So it goes in the general direction. It does not go beyond the crates. It actually stops on. It goes inside of one of the open crates, which will still create some smoke. Because I'm assuming you're tossing the smoke bomb.
Yeah.
It will not be as much smoke all around, or as effective, but it will create still some smoke. Basil, how does your smoke bomb work? What's the radius of that? Apology.
I also have a question for Basil about the stink bomb you gave me. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah. Smoke bomb obscures vision within an area for 2 rounds. All site-based rolls are made with 6 black die to see through it.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't give a precise area. It just says within the area.
Okay, so it's about probably I'm assuming the size of decent my room here, 5-6 yard give or take. That would make sense. That it would be especially since it is currently in the crate. Um, so at the top there is a cloud of smoke, um, which is partially obscuring. So it may help your exit, or because you're hurt. It sucks. You're having a bad day.
Yeah.
And then I have a question for Basil.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly does the stink bomb do?
It's something we made up on the spot here. It's not in the book.
Okay, good to know.
I'm assuming it's just
GM,
smell like
how
rotten
will this
eggs
work?
and shit like that.
Yeah, it's like just a really like a regular stink bomb if you've ever smelled one, sulfur and eggs and
Yeah.
whatever. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
basically probably like a glass vial thing, just like the regular smoke
Yeah.
stink bombs are.
But it won't have any character. It won't have any mechanical effect.
I mean,
It's fairly intense.
it depends on where you toss it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's on somebody, it may require them a bit of
It might give them a bit of a gag reflex,
Okay.
but you probably have to hit them directly or right in their square, kind of thing.
Ah, good to know. And then I'll pull out. I wrote down I have a gun. I'll pull out my harmonica pistol,
Okay.
and I'm gonna start making my way towards where I heard the children.
All right. Perfect. So we're
My
gonna.
movement, my run is 11.
All right. So I mean, technically, books call to roll initiative every round. Let's not do that. Otherwise, we're gonna be here until tomorrow morning. Basil,
I have things to do tomorrow morning.
you just got shot.
I did.
It hurts and at the same time as you get shot, not so long after that, you see that little smoke bomb. You know that. So, what do you wish to do? You're not able to see Eric Jones because he's hidden behind the smoke.
Okay.
But he's also not
Do I
able to see you.
Do I see big old Tom, whatever his name is, the ogre coming anywhere?
Just give me a perception difficulty trait because we're the midst of the action here.
Ooh. Apparently, action makes me see really good. Okay,
It's
3.
that adrenaline pumping.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's 5 successes, no failures.
All right. You're able to see him. You're not sure if he sees you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to see him coming towards, where Air would be and you would be as well.
That's
I'm
a
assuming
bigger.
Zephyrin was a bit ahead of you, so she's probably in a different direction.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's a big problem. If he gets you, it's gonna be a bad time.
Well, I know good for him. I just don't know which one I want to do. So when a thing says explodes for fire intensity 6, does that mean 6 damage die?
Yep. And the range is 10 yard. Because you're looking at the grenade.
Yep.
Which is also may impact whatever's around you as well.
Like a giant statue of a jade dragon.
He ran from that. That was right next to the cart. He's away from the cart.
He's away from it. That depends. Oh, well, you do your thing. Obviously, he's partially obscure, so it may takes it a bit more difficult. But yeah.
Well, it's either that or hit him with the fire one and just coat him in fire. Let him have that fun.
You do you, Basil?
I'm gonna make him a torch. I'm gonna coat him in fire.
All right. So,
do not shoot a guy that likes explosive.
He's about 10. He's about maybe a bit. He's a bit over 10 yards from you, so it'd be a bit more difficult to toss it.
I'll move closer if necessary.
All right.
keeping the boxes between myself and where I know what's his name
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Then in that case, it would be within your 10 yard. Just throw your thing with difficulty 3 because you're mid of the combat.
Two success, one failure.
One failure. All right. So on that, it does not hit him directly. Um, and the radius of that is a lot big. I think.
Yeah, and it doesn't say for pocket bombs. It doesn't give their radius.
Yeah.
It just says the bomb covers a person with flammable oil,
Okay.
which is ignited by the fuse,
All
which
right.
is it's basically a Molotov cocktail.
Okay. So it make fire around, probably catch him a bit on fire. Okay. Roll.
Yeah.
Roll your damage for that.
All right. What would your decide the damage is? Because it doesn't give me that.
Just
It
roll.
says that they're on fire.
Just roll 3d6. I'm gonna adjust based on that. Because on how it hit.
Ooh, nasty. 10.
10. All right. So it's like catch on fire a little bit, because you were not able to hit him directly, which is gonna give him a very bad time.
Yep. Whatever fire's there stays there a while.
Yep. And you can hear him like, what the? And he's trying to pat that, which may help some people get the egg out of dodge. Okay. I'm assuming that's what you're doing during your action. You're moving.
Yep. I'm moving. Again, I am at this point trying to kind of make a circle to verify that I want to get to at least sight of the cart so I can verify Alexandra has gotten out. Yeah. And then I'm going to be arcing to get myself back to the door we came in.
From where you can see, you could probably see her just a little bit.
Okay, so I can see Alexandra.
Yeah.
Moving. Okay.
She would be in front of the cart, out of sight from Tom. You would be probably behind. You would probably be behind a crate there, where you would have been able to see him.
So I see her. I see Alexandra running off in completely not the right direction as far as I'm concerned. Not towards the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, all right.
So I'm going to just be moving then to follow Alexandra because I'm like, now what the hell?
Yeah. All right. Perfect. So, Harry Jones will try to find you in that mist. As you're moving away, it would be making things way more difficult for him to shoot you.
Good.
So, yeah, instead of just difficult, that it adds 6. It adds 6 dice, right? That missed.
I believe that's what we said. I think it adds.
Yeah, for the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's way more difficulty for him compared to.
It's also still the knife wound.
Yeah. You're also the GM, and the rules of the universe say the GM's dice always favor the GM rather than the players.
I mean, that smoke bomb probably saves Basil's butt right now. Because I roll 1 difficulty die above my success. So
nice.
Nice.
Because on all those difficulty dice, I rolled 3 failure, which is, it's 10 dice.
Ooh.
Against his dice, which only had 2. So a shot is fired, splinter nearby, and you can hear trying to find and moving around. Find the fucker! And next nearby there is poor Tom. He's just trying his best, but he's on fire right now, at least partially, not too bad. So that's gonna be one round of that happening. Arrington we'll try to perceive everybody happening here. If y'all could like just, I'm assuming, roll me like just your like general like hide and sneak.
Great.
Because I'm assuming you're trying not to be overly perceived.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Just
not. I don't want to. I
Against
don't want to.
is general perception of everybody here and all that is happening.
Yeah, the general balance. No successes again.
3 successes.
3 as well.
Okay. I mean, you heard the shot, and it's probably Basil. All the action's happening in your corner, so, and his attention is towards the air, and he had 1 success. But he's way far from you, and you do have cover, so it will make any shot from him way more difficult. What does he have? Weapon-wise. Alright, I gave him those. Alright, he's gonna
knife.
yeah, he's gonna take out his revolver. Which you're fairly far. It will make him fairly difficult as well. So no. All right. But alright, on the upside, the distance makes it pretty much equal in terms of Okay. That's. I mean, I guess you're being lucky right now, Basil.
That's all I got going for me. Oh, just also one thing, and this may change how much actually I am hurt.
Yeah.
I am wearing an armored coat.
Yeah, that will also reduce your amount of your wounds. Like,
okay.
If it's it is a coat, so it would like reduce like torso wounds. What's the armor on that?
It's a lined coat. It's an AV4, so I guess it would reduce that by 4.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite as hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing for your foes. They're some of them have some armor on, so it reduces your.
So I don't.
And you do hear like other shot like coming nearby, and it miss you like by like not even a foot, like you're like between two.
Like in the
scene
in The Mummy, the scene in the original in the Brendan Fraser Mummy.
Yeah. And as shots are being fired from all sides. There's Harrington.
This is much more lively than
yeah, he's gonna try to find a better spot to shoot at you, and it's like kill the fucker.
So I have now realized that there are shots coming at me from 2 different directions.
Yeah,
now, yes.
like essentially like you're behind that crate. On like if you were like back to the crate, on your left is Mary Jones coming at that you already shot you once and it's coming at you that way, and to your right you have shots from Harrington, and a bit further down you have Tom that is currently a bit lit.
And I, as a reaction to them being shot, just like shout out, "Go ahead, keep shooting. You might blow me up."
All right.
You'll blow us all up.
Perfect. Zephrine?
So on the question of armor.
Yep.
I'm obviously wearing a corset.
Yep.
Now in the description, the corset says that it has an armor value 2. On the table, it says the corset has armor value 1. Which one are we going with?
Let's go with 2.
Am I better armored?
Yeah, let's go with 2.
Thank you very much, kind GM.
I mean, remember also, it only protects, where the corset is.
The torso.
If you get shot in the arm,
if I get hit in the collarbone, that's just getting,
Yeah. If they're, like, making their life more difficult to shoot you specifically where you're not armored, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah. Alright. So there's no one in my immediate vicinity who I need to shoot, right?
You're probably heading.
Or can I see Harrington?
You could probably see Harrington over there, and possibly. Actually, no. Tom would probably be behind. Yeah, you could probably see Harrington. Yeah, from where you are.
Can I see where Alexandra went? Because I was heading towards the carriage.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to
rolled out to go throw the smoke bomb. So
it's probably just all happened at the same time. So you have probably seen her.
Yeah.
Try to follow her.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna try to catch up with Alexandra, and assuming I can, then there's gonna be the quick conversation of we got an exit back the way I came.
You have 3 seconds.
Guaranteed exit. Yeah, guaranteed exit back the way I came, and do you know where the urn is? Is kind of where I'm catching up to her.
All right.
And this is the quick, what's going on? Why aren't you heading towards us?
Yeah, alright. Perfect. Alright. It is Tom's turn. Are you shooting at anything? Are you using your are you using your time to attempt to have a discussion, or?
No, I'm using my time to attempt to have a discussion and or discern where if I can see the urn in this, in a quick 3-second glance, can I find the urn and maybe head that way instead of heading towards Alexandra, but I assume I can't.
Just give me a perception difficulty 3.
Oh, well, that's good. I cannot fail it. Because I got 5 successes. And no failures. So 5 successes on that perception to be like, okay.
You're able to briefly spot it within on top of the crate, where was probably the dragon and all that in there. They just left it nearby, same place.
Then yeah, rather than having the conversation, I see it and head towards that to try to retrieve that. And Alexandra knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. Tom, on his turn, instead of moving towards anybody or attacking anybody, because
put himself out.
Only his trouser is on fire. He's just gonna rip his trouser out. I mean, it is a reasonable reaction.
Inside Alexander dies a little bit, the thought of perfectly good pants being torn apart.
If you are strong enough,
perfectly good. They were on fire.
If you are strong enough, any pants are tearaway pants.
Oh, Rafiki, I hate that logic so much.
And also,
if those pants are on fire, if the pants are poorly constructed enough, they're any tearaway pants.
Oh yeah, he's not wearing well constructed. You've seen his pants. It's not well made. So you have
it's not even a decent pair of pants.
Bill, this is before mass manufacturing. Someone had to make those.
Yeah. So you
have to make them well.
So you have a partially in the nude orc.
I love this game. I love this game so much.
You also see that he's hiding a club.
Oh.
All right, that is Tom's turn. Alexandra, what are you doing on your turn?
Do I see the children?
Roll me perception. Difficulty 3.
Difficulty 3. Okay. Hold on, it's gonna take me a second because I got a lot of dice to roll. That's cocked. Okay. And then difficulty 3.
Yeah.
Three successes, 2 failures.
Alright. Although you're not able to see them per se, looking around in this absolute chaos, beyond the barrenness of Tom and all of that, you are able to see what appear to be animal cages, like big metal animal cages. Which it was generally it's roughly the same direction of where you heard the sound originally. and you
Okay.
are able to hear like some sound coming up that way because chaos will scare the crap out of people.
I bolt in that direction using
Alright.
all of my movement.
And you bolt, and you are able to like more or less Harrington like over the air,
Mhm.
and you're bolting, so he may
Mhm.
see you coming that way as well.
Can I do hide and sneak to try and?
Yeah, you can do. If you're gonna do hide and sneak, your movement is gonna be a bit slower, obviously. I mean,
Nah,
you can also use action that you may have to more or less evade and make things a bit more difficult for him.
No, I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna run.
All right.
I have fair enough health that I can
All right.
try and
All
make
right.
it.
Perfect. So as you're running, uh, from the main door,
Mm-hmm.
you hear a loud crack and the door being open. Basil, you're probably standing like pretty close to that door.
Oh, am I? Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
I'm assuming that you
Sure.
probably went. I mean, close-ish. I mean, there's probably like a few things between you and the door, and like crates, and but
Mhm.
you have a visual on where that is,
Yeah.
and you're probably currently in the party. You're probably the one closer to that door.
Mhm.
I would think I was. Well, I would think I'd be closer since. that
Yeah,
was
No,
you
you-
and
you
his friend
car
would probably be
passed to the.
closer-ish. You know.
You guys went right, and I
Yeah.
went left.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
would probably be like Basil, Zephyrin, Alexander a bit further. Because the children, if Alexander is going towards the children, she's going more toward Arbor side.
Right.
And what you see, or at least you can probably somewhat perceive, is a few other men and humanoid people, their gender identities not being able to be fully perceived because you're just seeing them at the moment, entering in, and it is difficult to tell who those are.
Well, we can
Uh,
put it by silhouette. They're definitely not like Bobby's, right? They're not cops. They're
No,
not
they're
your standard
absolutely
uniform
not
cops.
cops. They appear to be probably like, you know, mobster type of deal, for the most part. And and as soon as that happened, Alexander, you've probably seen Arrington's face like same time, like going like, "Fuck." And that's where we're gonna end tonight.
Oh no. Oh,
As
great.
more people
Oh.
are being in the fray,
Oh, no.
it's gonna be a shit
Oh,
show.
those people are not on our side, but they're not on their side. They're on the third party side, which is
Well, that's the
the
thing
worst.
is I had a question, but I will wait until I guess
Mhm.
next time to
Yep.
find out.
I will gladly answer any post-campaign question as well if there's anything that was unclear.
I'm gonna have so many post campaign questions. For
Oh
you.
yeah. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. Once again, I'm gonna thank all my wonderful players for joining me tonight. It was a joy to bring this chaos, and none of you died yet, so that's good.
I don't
But
think you said yet.
combat in Victoriana is messy.
And I did just shout out the warning to the bad guys that whether or not they believe me, if they keep shooting, it might blow us all up.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I look like I'm heading towards the dragon statue. I wonder if they're gonna target me first.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
That's when we decided the urn was.
none of them have seen you guys yet, but
Yeah, this is
they're only going to know me.
Yeah. So next week, let's tune in for the next episode, the end of this combat encounter, and the conclusion to this campaign. However, it's gonna end. Who knows? Are the children gonna be safe? Is everybody gonna die? Well, there's only one way to
People
find
on top
out.
of London.
And it's to join us next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on the channel. In the meantime, I want to thank again everybody for sticking around. And on that note, we love you very much. See y'all next week. Good night.